back in 2001, American Samoa lost 31-0 to Australia, which is a world record. It still stands to this day. And I guess that was the starting point, which is how when we, in a lot of European, South American countries as well, have kind of lost perspective on what's important in the game and in life, how do these guys still want to play? They've played for 17 years, they've never won a game, and we wanted to go and celebrate that, not to make fun of these guys, not to laugh at them, but to actually celebrate the inspiration that they give to people like us who want to play regardless of what the result is going to be. So that was kind of, I guess, the starting point for the film. One of the coolest things that you'll notice in the film is that every now and again some of the chiefs come down from the hills and they ring these bells at the bottom of the hills every night at 6 o'clock when the sun starts to go down. And what this means is that it's curfew time, and that means that wherever you are on the island, whatever you're doing, you have to stop for 15 minutes and you just have to think, you have to contemplate something different from what you're doing at the moment. And that was, for us, coming from London, I'm sure from any of you guys living here in Munich or other big cities around the world, this was an unbelievably powerful and spiritual moment. And Thomas, the coach in the movie, to begin with, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to carry on training always, regardless of the time of the day and night. But the players sort of said, no, Thomas, you're here in Samoa, in American Samoa, and you have to deal with some of our traditions. And so every night at 6 o'clock the bell would go and the guys would sit down and just think, just contemplate. And I think for us it became a really important part of our day, part of our routine, that we'd love to bring back to just get a bit more perspective on life. So I hope you look out for the guys in the film dinging their bells and just think how much better a place the whole world would be if we just took a bit more time to think about what it is that we're doing. How about you?
I think I'm going to probably talk about my favourite part of making this film, which was, let's face it, an unusual story for two guys who live in Hackney, East London, to go and tell the story set on the Pacific Islands of Samoa and American Samoa. It's 10,000 miles from London to the Samoan Islands. It's 52 hours door to door to travel there. We were filming on both of the islands, and actually to travel from one island to the other is a 20-minute flight, but you arrive yesterday because the international date line passes between the islands. So there is a sunset in the film, which is literally the end of the day. It's a beautiful place to film because, as Mike said, they have culturally just their influences. They're not influenced. They don't live at the crazy speed of life that we do. So much so they drive at 20 miles an hour, and to go to 21 would be unthinkable on the island. And sometimes travel and communication can be a little different than it is at home. So when we finished filming our documentary, and we'd spent 6 months filming on the island, and have all of our equipment and our kit and the entire documentary in a case on some hard drives, and we flew 20 minutes from one island to the other. Only when we got to the other end, they decided not to bring any of our stuff, so that's hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of equipment, and the thing that we'd spent the last 6 months making was sat on a runway somewhere on an island in the Pacific. We asked when would our equipment be here. They said, don't worry, it will come on the next flight because your flight was too windy. Next flight, nothing. Next flight after that, nothing. 2 days later, an hour drive to the airport every time to go and see if it was there. We showed up at the airport and we just found our luggage just sat in the middle of the airport, unguarded, unprotected. And I think it's a testament to the honesty and integrity of the people of Samoa that hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of film equipment was just sat there, and it was all was well. And it was, thankfully, we still have a documentary, otherwise we would be here.
Thanks for having us here in München, or Faftai Tele Lava, as we say in Samoan.